Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you this 2020 Toyota Highlander at night. This is the LE trim, so basically it's a trim above the base trim, which is the L, and I'm going to be showing you the headlights, tail lights, and the interior lights of this 2020 Toyota Highlander. So coming to the front of this 2020 Highlander, this one does not have daytime running lights. So what I did, I actually turned on the headlight setting to the second position, and basically you will see those amber lights, one on the side and one right there where the turn signal actually is. As I said, this one does not have daytime running lights. I wish it did. And then in the bottom, of course, you have your headlights. But I'm going to go ahead and turn on the low beam and show you how the low beam actually looks like. So I just turned on the low beam. The low beam is actually sitting in two reflectors. One right here and the other one is right here. It's going to be really hard to see. But basically the low beam is sitting in two reflectors, and the high beam is actually in one reflector by itself. And this is the turn signal. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the high beam and the turn signal in a minute. But that's how the light actually looks like on this LE trim. And of course you have a side marker right here. I really like that side marker, and looks really good. You could see the lights from the side, which is really good. But coming to the brightness of the low beam, it's actually really good. With all the lights around, there's actually a good amount of light right here, so it's really nice and bright. But I just hate the fact that actually this one does not have daytime running lights. So I just turned on the high beam, and the high beam is actually very bright. The low beam is actually not sitting in a projector housing, but still everything is nice and LED. As I said, the low beam actually has two reflectors, and the high beam actually has one reflector. It's going to be really hard to see, but they are actually very nice and bright. So I just turned on the turn signals, and turn signals are actually halogen. I wish actually Toyota went with LED. But on the mirror you will see LED turn signal indicators, which is good, but I wish actually Toyota went with LED turn signal indicators on the headlights. So coming to the tail lights of this Highlander, I really like the design of it. I really like this nice wavy look, and I really like the fact that actually this side marker is nice and LED. But coming to the back right here, as I said, there's this nice wavy design to it, and I like the fact that if you actually look inside of it, you will see small dots, and it looks actually very nice. And then on top of those dots, you will see a really nice LED strip. But coming to the turn signal indicator, it's actually halogen back here, but the reverse light is actually LED. Coming to the license plate lights, they're actually not LED, they are halogen. I really wish Toyota actually went with LED for the license plate lights. But they actually have a good amount of brightness on the ground. So coming inside this 2020 Highlander, there's actually a very nice amount of lights everywhere, and everything is actually backlit right here. Coming to the door, you will see the window switches, door locks, and mirror controls. Everything is nice and well lit and has a good amount of light on it, and everything is actually very nice and easy to read. But coming down here, you will see the automatic headlights. Right underneath it, you will see the trunk release or the tailgate release, and then right in the bottom, it's going to be actually really hard to see, but this is the fuel button in the bottom. And coming right here, actually, you will see the brightness control and the trip reset. And coming to the gauges are actually very easy to read. Talking about the gauges, you could actually raise the brightness, or talking about actually everything in the car right here, you could actually raise the brightness, and the brightness actually has two settings. There's a high setting and there's a low setting. You have to hold the button down, and then that basically is the highest setting, and this is the lowest setting, and there's actually nothing in the middle. So there's only two settings for brightness, and I just don't like that. And honestly, the highest setting is not even that high. But coming down to the steering wheel has really nice, easy buttons to read. Everything is nice and backlit. Coming to the right of it, you will see all the cruise control buttons and radio buttons right here. But the gauges are actually very easy to read and look at. Coming right here to the screen, the screen is actually really nice. I really like the fact that actually everything is nice and backlit. Even the buttons, the home buttons, and everything is actually nice and backlit. Even the radio button is actually nice and backlit. But coming down here to the climate control has a good amount of light, and very easy to understand and read. And I like the fact that actually there is LCD screen inside the temperature. Basically it moves up and down, and I really like that. Down here you will see the hazard button, and then right here is the start button. It's nice and backlit, has a good amount of light on it. But coming down here, you actually won't see that much of light actually hitting the middle console. It's actually very dark in here, like the cup holders and the storage places, everything is actually very dark. But coming down here, you will see this is backlit, which is very good. And right here in the back, you will see the drive mode, the mode selectors, and everything's nice and backlit. Emergency brake or e-brake, hold button, and then you have a couple buttons right here in the bottom. Everything is nice and backlit. I just don't like the fact that actually the cup holders are not backlit, or maybe like a small light would be actually very good. But the middle console is actually very dark at night, and it's really hard to see. I just turned on the lights, and I really hate the fact that actually everything is dark down here at night. You can't see nothing, and none of those USB are actually backlit. Even the 12 volt is not backlit. I wish there was like a small maybe light up top or right here on the actual dash. There's actually a storage place right here, and there's no lights. I just don't like the fact that actually there's zero lights inside where the storage places are. It's very hard to see at night, and I just don't like the fact that there's no lights at all. But coming right here, there's actually no light inside, and I just don't like the fact that there's no USB inside. There's actually a 12 volt socket in there, but there's no lights at all. So coming up here, you will see actually an LED light. I just hate the fact that this LED light is not pointed at the middle console, and it's actually not doing anything right here. But coming right here, everything is nice and backlit, even the light buttons, which is very good. So click on them. Sadly, they're not LED, but they're actually very bright, and I really like them. And there's actually another button right here in the middle. Basically what it does, it turns all the lights on inside the Highlander, which is very, very good, and they're actually very bright. But I'm gonna go ahead and move to the back and show you the rest of the SUV. So coming to the door, there's actually a light on it, and I really like the fact that actually the light projects on the ground, and it's actually very nice and bright. So coming to the back door, on the window switch, you will see a light. It's nice and backlit. But coming to the second row actually has a good amount of light, since the second row is actually in the middle, and the lights are actually pointed kind of toward the second row, and even the back lights are actually pointed toward the second row, and the second row has its own light up top, and that's the only reason why the second row is actually very nice and bright. And there's actually a good amount of light back here, but in the back there's not enough. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you right now, but I really like the fact that actually there's a good amount of light in the back row right here. But coming to the climate control, everything is nice and backlit. You could of course control the climate right here in the back. But coming underneath, you will see two USBs, and those USBs are actually not backlit. So at night when it's dark, you actually have to look for those USBs, and it's gonna be actually really hard to look for them since it's super dark. But coming to the third row, the third row has a good amount of light, since the light is actually pointed toward the second row, which is very good. And there's actually a good amount of light back here. So coming inside the trunk, there's actually not a lot of light back here. It's actually very dim back here, and the seats are actually folded down. If you actually bring the seats up, they're actually going to be less light back here, since the light is actually located further down. I wish the light was actually located right here. It would have been better, but it's actually pretty dim back here, and I wish the lights were LED in the back. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. I would actually like to thank Toyota for actually providing me this 2020 Highlander. If you guys liked this video, and if you guys would like to see more, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.